am with the League of Extraordinary Scientists this morning, and we're talking about Kids to King Tides, which is very cool. And they all have very official titles, so pardon me while I read. Gene Wong is CEO of the League of Extraordinary Scientists. We have Ben Frabel, Collections Manager at Scripps Institution of Oceanography. And we have Dr. Lisa Ziegler-Allen, virologist at J. Craig Ventnor Institute, right?
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, got through that all. So, Jane, I'll start with you. Talk about this League of Extraordinary Scientists and what ScienceING Kids to King Tides is all about.
So basically, extraordinary scientists and engineers, we bring scientists to kids. We go to mostly underserved schools, and we bring them together so the kids can explore and discover and collect data with actual real scientists from Scripps Institute of Oceanography, J. Craig Ventnor Institute, and other things. And we're busing them to the beach to actually explore, go on microscopes, do all kinds of stuff. And we're also looking for teenagers, 11th and 12th graders, and we'll put a link on your website for them to apply to come and volunteer with us to inspire kids and work directly with these scientists.
To help the younger kids, which is really great.
That's right.
And we saw you last week talking to the kids in these big auditoriums saying that you're just a bus driver, but that's not true. But really, it's just about inspiring these kids to know what's out in our oceans and to really learn more about them.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay, so Ben, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here. And I know this has already kind of gotten underway, but some of the tide pools is what they might be experiencing when they go down to La Jolla. Okay.
Yeah, so these are just kind of some animals that you might encounter at tide pools, like along the coast here in Southern California and in La Jolla. So these are from our touch tank at Scripps, and you have all sorts of stuff. Like this big sea urchin in here that's got some kelp stuck to it.
Is that a sea cucumber?
Beautiful sea anemone right here with this bright green mouth and kind of little blue tips on the tentacles. I don't know if everybody's going to be able to see that, but really nice. And then over here we have a nice local shrimp species, a little rock crab right here, big hermit crab living inside here, and an interesting snail there as well. And then this is called a keyhole limpet, which is also kind of a relative of snails and stuff like that.
Go ahead. Sure. And I know we have kind of the star of the show, right? Always the starfish over here, which I get the pleasure of holding. Yeah, sure. I disinfected my hands already. Why is that important, Ben?
Well, these animals have a nice mucus coating, kind of protects them in the water. And when we have chemicals like sunscreen or lotion on our hands, it can kind of degrade some of that mucus coating and also kind of burn their skin maybe even a little bit. So it's always good to kind of just rinse your hands in some seawater before you're touching any of these animals.
So what are some of the questions that the kids give you guys the most? Lisa, you want to answer? I mean,
what is that? Is one of the common ones.
What is that?
Yes, what is that? But they also ask all kinds of things, from anything about the creatures that they're seeing, but also what they're learning in the classroom. They bring out and they say, how relevant is this? What we're learning in these textbooks and everything. And I think often it's so much more insightful for them to get their hands dirty, go in there and touch things and get out, in this case in the ocean, and see it, which is kind of nice. They also ask a lot about what you did to get to where you are, and usually I try to give them a little bit of feedback on that.
I can feel his little legs.
He's going to attach to you.
Yeah, I can feel it. So at 4th and 5th grade, that's the age for
this program.
This program. Why do you target that age group?
They are a little bit older in that K through 5 category. One, because of what we are bringing them to. Some of the tide pools, there is some danger, there's some safety rules, and kind of the concepts of conservation that we're teaching. But we want to keep it in that K through 5 because these guys are really they're so excited, they're so ready to get in there, and it really sets them up for middle school, high school to really continue on into that field of science.
They're sponges for all the information.
Yes, exactly.
Sponges. They're sponges. Do we have one? We have one. Yes. So
that was really good. Yeah.
So and also getting the older mentors. You mentioned, Gene, the 11th. Is it the 11th and 12th graders?
11th and 12th graders. We really want them to apply. We're going to be at the low tide again in December and January and February, and we'd really like them to go to the link that you guys are going to post up there, and we really want them to apply for this program and work directly with these scientists from J. Craig Ventnor Institute and Scripps Institute of Oceanography and inspire young kids to explore, discover, stay curious, and keep on sciencing. That's what we'd like them to do.
Okay, and is there any fee associated with this? How do you enroll?
The League of Extraordinary Scientists and Engineers is always free to students.
Okay.
We're always free to schools, and we do this by partnering with other science organizations. Equity in education is a big deal, and having diversity in science is a huge thing that all scientists want to see.
So really, it's open to all schools. You don't have to be at a certain school in order to enroll in this. So,
Absolutely.
So if parents are out there listening this morning and they know their 4th and 5th grader loves the ocean and all the little critters you find out there.
Yes, have your school apply for this, and if you're the parent of an 11th or 12th grader and you want them to come out, and it helps with your college application, come out and help with us.
That was good. And anything else you think? Oh, do you want to talk about some of these other objects over here? Look at this. I know
actually,
that
this would be more like
blowfish is
Ben's. So this is actually Ben Frabel from his collection
there's a
at
fighter
Scripps.
one.
Ben, this is your collection.
Yeah.
Is this your personal
This is more
collection?
Ben's.
No, so this is so I'm in charge of the marine vertebrate or fish collection at Scripps. We have a bunch of kind of repositories of preserved specimens. So I just brought some local fishes that you may encounter in tide pools. These are actually some that we caught a few. Some of these we caught very recently, and some of these are much older. So this is you might be lucky enough to encounter a baby horn shark in the tide pools here, although these tend to be a little deeper. This one, I mean, actually this one is pretty close to the La Jolla tide pools. This is caught right near the Scripps Pier. And then we have some other fish that we also just collected with some undergraduates a few weeks ago in the tide pools. Not the ones at Scripps, but the bigger ones in La Jolla, so very close by. And you can see some beautiful fish, like this is called a kelp fish, and some bigger fish called sculpins. Kind of the regular, residents of the local tide pools here.
Thank you guys so much. This is awesome. And I even got to hold a starfish before 10 o'clock in the morning. How cool is that?
Is it okay if I just give one shout out today?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I never do this, but today is my wife's birthday. I just want to say happy birthday to Elaine Tinglok Wong. Woo! The reason I can. Thank you.
Thanks, Gene. All right. Find out more information on our website, KUSI.com. We'll be right back.